So the Dragon Ball Super manga, I believe it was November when we started the Moro arc. Since then, we are currently, as of the recording of this video, up to chapter 51. And I guess before we jump into it, I want to ask you guys a question. In comparison to the Broly film and the Tournament of Power, where do you think this content right now with the new villain Moro, the reintroduction of the Galactic Patrol, the introduction to mirrors from the Galactic Patrol, as well as all the awesome stuff that we've had thus far, where does it stand for you in comparison to the prior arcs that we had in the story? Let's jump into it.
Whether Facebook, Twitter, or the two, make sure to steer clear, cause I'm coming through like...
Okay, so I believe the last chapter I talked about with Dragon Ball Super was either 47 or 48. So we got quite a few chapters to talk about. But for the most part, I'm not even gonna lie, I still stand with where my opinion was 3 or 4 chapters ago in terms of the fact that Moro's a freaking awesome villain. In fact, he's shown time and time again what type of villain he really is, and that it's not just one of those powerhouses. Because I honestly, before you can move forward, you gotta, address the past. And with a villain like Broly, for example, Broly was just a massive, hulking monstrosity of power. In comparison to Moro, he's the exact opposite. Moro isn't physically that strong. He's not like, oh my gosh, he can knock you out with one hit. But it's his magic that really transcends him to a different level. And this arc in general so far has just felt very different. I noticed that, when they were talking about moving forward with Dragon Ball Super, when they announced the movie, that they wanted to do things different. Of course, with the Tournament of Power, we had this overall just royal battle royale, royal rumble type of deal, and that was freaking cool. And then of course we have Broly, where again it was just fighting 1v1 against this animal that was so freaking strong. But with Moro, he's a lot more methodic. He's definitely heartless. This arc has reminded me so much of the Frieza saga, the Namek saga, just seeing the destruction of the Namekians, the horrific events. And Moro has shown that he is a heartless, cruel monster. Like Moro, if I would compare him to any of the villains again we've had in Dragon Ball Super thus far, he's more along the lines of like Goku Black in terms of he's evil. You know what I'm saying? Granted, Goku Black had his motives, and Moro, for the most part, from what I've gathered, he just basically wants to eat planets. He wants to keep on gathering energy. That's what the extent of what he said anyway so far his goal is. So goal very simple, but at the same time there's something about this villain that he just feels different, but at the same time it's very freaking awesome. Because one of the things that I gotta note, and let's talk about it, Moro has taken 2 W's to Goku and Vegeta, to the point where he refers to them as like, they just livestock that I let, linger around there. They strong, they rare for strong people. Yeah, they rare, whatever. But they just like livestock. I just let them linger. So the fact that Moro took 2 wins at the hands of both of them, he defeated Goku and Vegeta twice, if I'm not mistaken. And on top of that, he drained Namek, which again, that's one of the things that makes this arc feel like, man, this guy is no joke. You know what I'm saying? He took out the main heroes twice. It wasn't even like a fluke. He actually just legitimately gave them a whipping by, of course, using the magic that he has in order to drain them of their ki, their energy, whatever you want to call it. But it's definitely been one hell of a ride, and a dark ride with Moro. Especially, again, look at what happened to Namek. The 3 wishes, let's talk about that real quick. One of the wish, of course, was to get his magic power back. I was really tight, I'm not gonna lie. I always say with Dragon Ball, because for me, I look at it as, when you summon one of these dragons, whether it be Purunga, Shenron, the Super Dragon, whatever you call them, these wishes are very valuable. So when it was, I believe, Moro's crony that he ended up impaling or whatever, when he used that wish to heal himself, I was disgusted. I was like, oh my gosh, we really doing this right now? That really had me pissed off in a way. Looking back, I was like, okay, we wasted 1 wish. But then one of the other big wishes, which is what kind of catapulted us into an extension of this arc, because it's the classic thing in Shonen, in case you don't know, whenever they gotta extend an arc and they want to give more, I guess, smaller threats, so that way we have a barrier to the main villain, they usually do things in a different way. I think this did a different twist. Instead of just like, yes, my 4 royal guards that you guys didn't know about or anything of that nature. No shots there, by the way, that was just off the top of the head. But he more so, okay, I'm gonna break out all of the people that were jailed in the Galactic prison, which was freaking different, but also at the same time it's crazy. Like, yo, Moro's letting the convicts loose, baby. He's like, free my people. Although, to be fair, you think about it, they're convicts, they're criminals, so there's probably gonna be some type of I guess, problematic aspects internally. You can see that some of the people that he freed are about themselves. They're like, Moro, okay, yeah, you know, they're using the opportunity that they got from Moro to be free, and they're just like robbing planets, killing as many as they want, and then saying, there's no energy on this planet or whatever. So you could definitely see that by the end of it, Moro's probably going to have to put a few of these people out of their misery, because a lot of them, they're not even listening. I believe one of them even said, oh yeah, all we had to do was pretend that we give a shit about this Moro dude, and he let us free. So you can see that the prisoners from the Galactic prison are probably going to have some sort of self-destruction, because the way they're moving, they're not moving as a unit. They're not moving in unison. So Moro probably will end up killing them as well, especially once he catches wind that they're lying. If Moro's biggest goal is he just wants to keep on consuming as many planets as he can without any interruption, people that are messing with his goal, if he catches them, it's a wrap for them. And honestly, they've been okay. They're not even that strong, though. Vegeta even said, my youngest son, you know, or my son can even take care of them. And Trunks is like, what, just a Super Saiyan? So they're not all that credible. Honestly, if it's in terms of the villains, Moro is really where it's at. I'm not really that excited about the Galactic prisoners that have been freed, especially, again, like, you see, they really ain't much. Although, to be fair, now, this is where the other Z Warriors, I guess, are going to get involved, because they've also been empowered by Moro giving them energy and, you know, basically using his powers to enhance them. At the end of, I believe, the latest chapter, they're headed toward Earth, so probably that's where we're going to get the Piccolos, Krillins, 18s, all of the Z Warriors, or the Super Warriors now, right? I don't know. We're going to probably get them involved via that way, because Dragon Ball Super, for a while now, honestly, I want to say, well, people would argue the entire series, but for, at the very least, this arc, it's mainly been Goku and Vegeta get bopped, running away, Galactic Patrol comes and saves them, they get bopped again, so it's kind of been only really Goku and Vegeta. This is probably how they're planning on bringing in the other characters, which is good, because as much as I love Goku and Vegeta, that's a nice breath of fresh air. I don't want to only see Goku and Vegeta, although it's been freaking hype, and that's one of the ways, again, how you show that a villain is credible. I like that this arc didn't only take the approach, because normally what they do with Dragon Ball, especially with Super, is they usually take Vegeta, have him be the example, get him whipped up, and then that's the end of it. But the fact with this arc that they took Goku and Vegeta, both of them, and had them take 2 L's is a bit of a breakaway from the norm for what they do, where they usually just use Vegeta as a scapegoat for Goku to later come and say, yes, I'm strong. Which, let's talk about the Galactic Patrol for a little bit, because the Galactic Patrol, honestly, I still to this point am a little bit suspicious of Maris. I'm kind of wondering if he had a role in breaking out Moro. I'm still wondering if there's any fishy business there, because the dude has been hiding his strength this entire time. Why didn't he immediately go ham and capture Moro instantly? Is it that maybe he possibly broke him free in order to later capture him? Because there's a couple things that I'm little bit concerned with Maris. I'm still not all the way convinced, despite the fact that now he's supposedly going to go and train with Goku to master Ultra Instinct, which I don't know if that's really, I would like, honestly, for them to hold off on Ultra Instinct, the silver hair. Maybe the black haired form, Goku be able to use it for an extended amount of time, but the silver haired form, I still don't want him to master, because I feel as though that's like end game type of deal. That's where, if he masters that, he should be able to take out Beerus, in my opinion, or be close to there, because Beerus did make comments in the Tournament of Power like, whoa, what is that? What's going on here? He's getting close, you know, something along the lines of that. Obviously not the exact lines, but if he masters this now, we're really close to defeating Beerus at that point, or surpassing Beerus, and the end game goal is to surpass Beerus and probably Whis, right? So despite the fact that they're going to be training, I still don't necessarily want him to be able to all the way master it. Maybe he'll be able to tap into it a little bit more frequently, but not that he can do it like Super Saiyan, go at will into Ultra Instinct, because then it's like, for me, Ultra Instinct, I look at it as the reason why the hair is that way is because it's wisdom, and you probably need to be older to have that. Kind of like when Gon from Hunter x Hunter used his power to become, you know, that older form. I feel as though that's something like what I feel with Ultra Instinct. Maybe I'm just off about it in general. Obviously, there's explanations for it or whatever, but for him to be able to use it at will now, if he trains with Maris, I don't know. And also, I don't know how I feel about Maris being this freaking strong. Somebody from the Galactic Patrol, where Jocko jokes around. Like, I honestly thought the Galactic Patrol, for the most part, was maybe a few people stronger than Jocko. Nothing really fantastical. But the fact that we got somebody like Maris that basically, he's, in a way, better than Goku and Vegeta. He was hiding his strength. Goku does that whole, alright, let me see what you about, and goes through all his Super Saiyan forms, and at God mode he had to stop. I'm curious to see where Maris' skills are at, but also, again, it doesn't completely alleviate the fact that, who knows, maybe Maris had a hand in letting Moro free, or is up to no good. Maybe he wants the promotion of recapturing Moro so he could lead the Galactic Patrol. I mean, that still would make him crooked in a way. I don't know. I just don't completely trust him. And then we also have one of the big things where Vegeta, he didn't want to go with Goku anymore, which I thought that was awesome because we've seen a very big change in Vegeta's character. Don't get me wrong, it's been for the better. He's been a better father. He just changed into a better person. He grew, he developed great stuff with Vegeta. I know there's a lot of people that hate that and they're like, ugh, I want my old badass Vegeta back. I understand it, but it's for the better of the character, the betterment of, hey, he became an Earthling, hey, he had a family, hey, he slowly became more of like what Goku became, just living there his whole life. Vegeta's now on that path. So cool stuff there, but it was nice for him to finally say, yo, I'm done with all of this instant transmission. Kakarot, get your hands off me, fam. Like, don't touch me. Because it gives room for him to grow on his own. Just like when he obtained, what was it, the new transformation that he had that was like in between Super Saiyan Blue, but it wasn't like Ultra Instinct, that new form evolution, was it? When he did that, I was like, okay, Vegeta getting his own thing. So him refusing to use the instant transmission with Goku, great move, but also the fact that he wanted to go to Yardrat. I thought that was a nice game changer. Now, to be honest with you, maybe he will learn instant transmission upon arrival in Yardrat, but also I think that this is a good move because the people from Yardrat, maybe they have other techniques, not only instant transmission, or Vegeta can use instant transmission to create his own techniques itself. Maybe a instant Big Bang attack of some sort, something like that. That'd be freaking insane, but I applauded that move. I felt as though Vegeta going to Yardrat, Vegeta saying no more was a good move, even though they had to run like rats. And again, Moro was talking to shit. That's why I really like Moro. Moro, again, he's one of those, he's like a Goku Black before the Zama's, hey, I'm a little whiny, you know what I'm saying? So I'm expecting some really big things with Vegeta, you know, going to Yardrat, new techniques from him. I think now Goku training with Mirrors, maybe he won't tap into Ultra Instinct, you know, or master it. Maybe he'll learn something or a smaller version of it. Likewise with Vegeta doing his own training. It's good to separate them so that they're not just, oh, he's blue, he's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want them just to be constantly alike. I will say with the Dragon Ball Super manga, probably pacing would be an issue if I had to point out anything, where it's like, hey, the Galactic prisoners got free, and then in the same chapter, hey, they've arrived, or the very next chapter is like, time goes by really quick. Vegeta left to Yardrat, the next chapter, he arrived at Yardrat, or in the same chapter, I don't know, I read it all in a bunch, but like, it goes by really quick with the pacing. The anime will probably pad that out whenever they do decide to do this stuff. I'm imagining they're probably waiting, letting it stack up of some sort, but that's probably the only issue I would say is the pacing. Goku and Vegeta taking L's, it gives more credibility to Moro, so no problems there. Vegeta doing his own thing, no problems there. Meris, a little questionable. Galactic prisoners, not the biggest fan of them, because again, Vegeta described them as they're pretty much like weaklings, like my son could take them out, they ain't shit. And Moro, once again, just being a breakaway, he's not that he's strong per se, it's more so that his abilities are incredible. And seeing that instead of doing the whole or a remake of King Piccolo, of using the wish to be young again, the energy that he's been consuming has kind of brought him back to his youth in ways. Like, my body's almost completely back to how I used to be. So advancement in that aspect without making it a dramatic, like, I need the wish. A lot of really awesome stuff. Dragon Ball Super manga lately, honestly, it's been pretty freaking cool. Again, I would only argue like maybe the pacing is whatever, but it seems as though possibly next chapter with these Galactic prisoners, which Trunks can take him out on his own. I think that was the setup so that the Z Warriors can have a fair shake at something in this, because again, it's only been the Goku and Vegeta show against Moro and getting their tail whipped, which I ain't mad at it. Kind of curious what you guys have thought about the Dragon Ball Super manga lately. How have you felt about Moro? Again, I want to say it was November 2018 when we started this. How do you feel in comparison to Broly or the Tournament of Power? I really want the anime to come back and do this at some given point, because Moro's a freaking badass. And what techniques do you think Goku and Vegeta are going to get out of this, you know, secluded training? Goku with Meris, do you think that he's just gonna master Ultra Instinct, or maybe he'll figure something else out? And with Vegeta, what do you think he's gonna get from the Yardrat people? You think it's just going to be a different form of instant transmission? Because he said he wanted to learn from them some techniques. He didn't necessarily say instant transmission. I think he'll gather that or something similar along the way, or say I didn't even bother to get that, because at the end of the day, you want to keep Goku as unique as possible, and instant transmission has been something that is exclusive to him. So maybe he won't use that per se, have something different or something even more advanced, which would be freaking crazy. And your overall thoughts for the future of Dragon Ball Super's manga, how you think this arc is going to finish off. I am looking forward to seeing what they do with Moro. I'm looking forward to seeing how he's defeated, because based on the way he's doing things, it's like, you have a problem. He can suck up all your ki before you, like, they really got to just get him quick. They got to double team him, get him as quick as they possibly can, especially before, because he's like consuming all this energy. He's going to get too strong to a point where they're not going to be able to do much. In fact, they've already gotten their tail whipped again twice. How are they going to take him out? And one last thing real quick to throw in. The Lord of Lords, Majin Buu's form, I wasn't a fan of how that went either. The fact that he couldn't use the technique. It was cool that they did a flashback and they showed, you know, that basically the power went to Kid Buu and all of that stuff. But it was kind of like, hey, we have a plot device. Hey, no we don't. But that's all I have for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. Make sure you put all notifications so you can get notified the next time I talk about some Dragon Ball, which will be more frequent. I know I've been slacking on the Dragon Ball lately, but I'm back on it, baby. We caught up. 51, 52 when it drops. You will see my face. Not that you're particularly wanting to see my face. You more so probably want to hear my voice talk about this Dragon Ball greatness. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links of course in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in.
Enjoy the next ride, but I was the best ride. But I hope you know